We are ready to go. The girls' championship game in this, the 2018 Bash at the Beach. Brought to you by Service Electric Cable Television. And away we go. Notre Dame Green Pond wearing the black and gray jerseys. Their numerals are orange, very visible. And like the look for outdoor basketball, that is for sure. The Blue Eagles wearing a light blue with a gray number. And will set up defensively. 5-1 under Rich Bickert. Their only loss was to Dunmore, a loss that they just atoned for. Grace Madej, Abby Wachter, Antonio Bates, Mary Kate Altmore, and Cassie Murphy, the starting five for Notre Dame. Going to get our first whistle and a foul. For Rich Bickert and Nazareth, Morgan and Madison Amy, the twin sisters, Taylor Brugler, Jamie Youngkin, and McKenna Fortner, the starting five.
See a nice drive here in the baseline. They're going to attack the basket early here as Nazareth. They do a nice job of doing that. And they send Morgan Amy to the line.
Amy calmly makes both free throws, coming off a 12-point effort in their win against Dunmore, 36-27. They atoned for their only setback of the tournament, which they suffered earlier today, 28-25. That was to Dunmore. And Nazareth extending that half-court trap. Good job attacking it by Notre Dame, but come up empty. The Eagles on the move, the offensive end.
That trap is so effective, Mike, when you got Youngkin up top, you know, with that kind of wingspan that she has up top, that makes that defense so very, very tough to penetrate for Green Pond.
Nice little screen and roll, and the left-hand layup is on the mark for Brugler. Her sister Tessa coming up in her sophomore year at Bucknell. Had an outstanding career here at Nazareth. And Nazareth is really having some kind of summer. They've already won the Holy Family Tournament run by Mike Kopp and the Central Catholic Vikette program. They went 9-0, beating Marian Catholic in the championship game. Also beat Easton twice along the way in that tournament, Phillipsburg and Central Catholic. They did play Notre Dame of Green Pond in that event, but it was a game we were informed that the Crusaders were just kind of filling in for a team that didn't make it and really didn't have all their players. So this should be a little different kind of an evening or championship game.
And it always is, Mike, when you get the team from a Colonial League and a team from the EPC going against each other. So that's always an instant battle to start with as well.
Blue Eagles coming off another successful season, finished runner-up to Freedom in the District 11 6A tournament, lost to Council Rock North in the opening round of the PIAA tournament. This is Fortner. She's going to be a sophomore, trying to go inside. Nice pin and seal. That's Jamie Youngkin, a senior to be. She scored 11 earlier in the tournament, and the Blue Eagles raced to a 5-0 advantage. Notre Dame goes inside and does so successfully. There's Cassie Murphy. Jim, you talked about her in the open. 18 against Deeroff earlier in the tournament, had a dozen against Dunmore.
Yeah, she's going to have her work cut out for her, but you saw she's not afraid to attack the post, and there's going to be some intricate positioning inside against the big girls from Nazareth.
Nazareth, and good job of attacking. Assist to Youngkin. Brugler getting another field goal, the 7-2 advantage.
Good defense inside that time by Brugler. They have a nice job of cutting off the passing lane.
And Brugler defensively getting a piece of the shot by Cassie Murphy. Remains 7-2 in favor of Nazareth. Nazareth, the home team on the scoreboard. Good patience set here. Then Madison Amy off the mark. Scored 9 against Parkland earlier in the tournament. Nazareth defense right now creating a lot of problems for Notre Dame.
That's exactly what it did, Mike, in the Mike Kopp tournament up in Holy Family as well. Their defense was what really took a lot of teams out of their play. Easton particularly had a tough time going against their 1-3-1 defense.
9-2 advantage for Nazareth. They have had a long, long day. It started by losing to Dunmore 28-25 in the In the bracket championship game, they had a battle back to beat Whitehall Parkland and atoned for that Dunmore setback just a little while ago. This is a nice patient set.
Yeah, it is nice. Nice work right there by Morgan Amy going across, getting that screen going in a different direction than usual, going to the weak side, made a nice job.
Rich Bickert spent a good portion of his coaching career coaching the boys. He's really found a home with the ladies. This is a program year in and year out. When you talk about East Penn Conference, and whether it was the LVC and the district tournament, Nazareth's name always came up. And on a smaller scale, coming out of the Colonial League, last year Josh Kopp's team was surprised in the semifinals, lost to Wilson, 17-10 their mark a year ago. They wound up fourth in the District 11 tournament and lost to Mount Carmel eventually in the PIAA tournament. These are two programs that constantly are in the state tournament, whether it be as a district champion or a runner-up or even a third or fourth place finisher.
Yeah, the bar is always high at both of these schools, Mike, you're right, and they've had some great success in the state tournament runs.
Good set out of the timeout, and it results into points for Notre Dame. That was number 14. Antonia Bates, a freshman to be, scored 13 against Deeroff earlier in the tournament, including a three-pointer. That one a two-point field goal as she was just inside the arc.
Crusaders going man-to-man here now, trying to put some pressure on the Nazareth guards out front.
They're working diligently to get it to Brugler. Shot altered that time by Cassie Murphy. Bates maneuvering into the front court. Wachter deals inside. Great inside positioning. Again, it was Cassie Murphy.
That's what I said. She's not afraid to attack, Mike, and that's the thing that happens a lot of times inside. When there's a lot of height on the other team, people are afraid to attack, but she goes right to the bucket.
Josh Kopp coming up on his 15th year. He started as a coach at Notre Dame for the boys while he was still attending Moravian College. He knew that this was going to be part of his livelihood at a very young age. Of course, when your dad's the all-time winningest coach in the history of the state of Pennsylvania, I mean, that's got to help out a little bit, huh?
It does help a lot, and you can see them pushing the ball up the floor. They wanted to get that fast break going right there. Still down 9-6, though, at this point.
Yeah, Murphy just couldn't get the handle on it. It's been a long 4 days. Well, we mentioned the Holy Family Tournament. That's over a 4-day period, and that's a pool play. That involved 9 games for Nazareth. They wound up 9-0. Perimeter shot off the mark. Brugler again. Sky's the limit for Talia and Brugler. Only a sophomore coming up. 18 points against Dunmore their last game. Three-pointer off the one. A lot of tired legs right now. It's been a long 4 days. 19 teams started the tournament, headed by Nick Klein, Rick Warman assisting.
Interesting now, a couple of substitutions for Nazareth so they can put some different people at the high post.
Bates has knocked down another 3 to tie the game at 9 apiece. She will be just a freshman. One of the things we've always talked about with this event, Jim, is a preview of a little bit of maybe what we might see in the winter. Wow, what a beautiful bounce pass. Brugler, the good catch, fouled in the act. I believe it was Morgan Amy who dropped that one into the lane.
Yeah, it was. You're right, Mike. Morgan Amy did a nice job on that assist.
Brugler to the line.
You're going to see it
Blue
right
Eagles
here.
back on top.
Going baseline and hitting in the inside. Very nice job of getting that ball in between 3 defenders right there.
Is it me, or does it feel like Morgan and Madison Amy have been here now for about the last 8 or 9 years?
I know. When we wrote their names down, I thought the same thing.
Coming up on their senior seasons.
I'm sure there's a lot of people in the league that feel the same way.
Yeah, they've been part of a lot of wins. 10-9 Nazareth. 2 halves of a running clock, 20 minutes for each one. Clock runs, except for timeouts, injuries. Murphy this time blocked by Brugler.
Good hustle by Brugler as he goes on the deck to get that one. Tell you, Nazareth had a tremendous district final against Freedom this year. Went into overtime and really played their hearts out. Both teams, tremendous game, and they came out on the short end. But I tell you, that experience I'm sure has helped them because they had a lot of younger kids, Brugler being one of them.
Possession arrow awarding the basketball to Nazareth. They lead it by 1, 10-9. Notre Dame has not participated. Well, this is the second year for the Bash at the Beach. That bucket, they waved that one off.
A little bit of a movement inside, I think, curtailed that one.
They did wave it off. But Notre Dame has not played. It was the Stellar, of course, when they won back in 2012. That year they beat Boyertown. Great program. Boyertown winning a state championship within the last couple of years.
Coach Coptis still going with the man-to-man pressure.
They've overcome a slow start in this one, a trail by 1. Crusaders extending the defense. Youngkin couldn't handle it. This is Madison Amy. There's good patience on offense by Nazareth, and good job by defending for a long defensive sequence now by Notre Dame.
And a nice defensive sequence, Mike. They've done a good job of going over screens, calling screens out.
Mentioned how last year Notre Dame qualified for the state tournament as the 4 seed. They were part of actually what was a sub-regional. Involving teams out of District 1.
Coach Kopp got to be happy with this defensive sequence.
It's hard to maintain that defensive intensity. And they're going to come up with a turnover. That's quite an effort by the Crusaders at the defensive end. Bates maneuvering offense. They try to dump it inside. Tough pass to handle. Getting it back is Midday. Bates has been their weapon from outside, this time off the mark. It's kind of a breezy day throughout most of the day, but it's died down a little bit here now for our 2 championship games. Boys final will feature defending champion Hearst Catholic and Emmaus.
Doing a good job now, Notre Dame is of sitting on the inside too. They're really doing a good job on Youngkin on the inside, which was really hurting them early in the ball game.
Thought I heard them starting to count it down here first half. Youngkin couldn't convert. Jamie coming up on her senior year. Remains 10-9. Both teams have gone into a little bit of a slump here at the offensive end, but really it's the defenses that are creating it.
Which is amazing in the kind of tournament that this is when you're very tired, you've used your legs so much all 3 days that the defense is paying off. But both coaches doing a great job of coaching defense, and it's really showing here.
Just heard 1:01 to go first half. Nazareth leading 10-9. Brugler relocating inside, following her own miss, and then had it knocked out of her hands and lost it out of bounds.
You take a look at this inside. Tough move right there. Tried to go up with the left hand, but couldn't do it, and then all of a sudden gets the rebound, but then loses it out of bounds. Good job again, Nazareth on the defensive end. McKenna Fortner coming up with that steal.
Wound up calling a foul. It was whistled on Grace Hiesel, a junior to be, wearing number 24. Morgan Amy turns the corner. Tough shot. Couple of points against Parkland after losing to Dunmore this afternoon. They came back to beat Whitehall and Parkland. Whitehall 45-27, Parkland 41-19. Two teams they'll see a lot of in the winter months. Three-point shot off the mark by Wachter. And Brugler ultimately clearing the boards. Nazareth with a chance to add to a 2-point lead.
And try to get that inside seal with Brugler on the inside. They're looking down low to try to get that seal.
Hey, 102, 102.
Wachter supplying or applying the ball pressure. 5 into the game is Sophia Zalaska for Nazareth. Wachter sets the offense for the Crusaders. Boy, it's been a while since they've scored. That's the bad news. The good news, they're only down 2 points.
You're going to see a foul called going to the lane. Take a look at it here. You're going to see a little drive to the bucket right now.
Bates checks back in for Notre Dame, while Alyssa Mulhern, a senior to be, is in for Nazareth. It's Bates with the basketball, deals to Reagan Cooper. Cooper only a freshman. With Josh Kopp's getting a look at a really young team. I mean, Medea, sophomore, Wachter's a senior. These are the starter. Bates, a freshman, Altmaier, a senior, and Murphy, a junior. He has a good mix there in that starting lineup. And they are going to tie it up on a nice bounce pass as Mary Kate Altmaier ties the game at 12-12.
Senior forward, nice inside position right there. Did a nice job of getting the feed as well.
So Lasco thought about a 3. Mulhern. Madison Amy has it back. What a nice pass. Brugler there to finish it off. Assist from Morgan Amy.
Wow, you can tell that those two have played a little basketball together.
14-12, Nazareth.